Does the race and gender of the deity matters when you are performing a magical ritual? So let's just say you are asking for money or whatever you're asking for. Is it okay to select a deity of any culture, of any ethnicity, to help you perform a magic ritual? Or will this get you in a lot of trouble? I don't know. I don't know, guys. I know people probably thinking, aren't there other things to be thinking about? There's world hunger. This matters. Yeah. So before we get into, I have developed my own little theory about this, whether or not the race and gender of a deity matters when performing magic. I'll get into it as we break this video down. I'll give you my own little theory about that. But first, let's just go over the social science definition of race and gender, just for our purposes. You don't have to agree with this. I didn't make it up. What I'm about to share with you right now, this is just how modern human society, as of this time period, defines race. So your race is defined as your facial features, your skin color, your hair texture. It's how other people perceive you. And I know a lot of people, guys, I've been teaching for full time for over 25 years at a college, and I know sometimes when students are in the classroom, they disagree vehemently with what you're telling them, like you making it up, or I don't know. Let me just say this: your race is your hardware. It's what people see, and it's how society defines it. So you may say, but I perceive myself as being biracial. I'm a biracial person. I am this person. I am this whatever. But society is going to, first of all, let me just say this. The term race did not exist prior to, and guys, I'm really bad with dates. You can fact check this. I think it was like prior to the 1700s, there was no written record of the word race. Like people were defined in terms of their religion. And after the slave trade with the enslaved Africans, and you all guys know the history, right? That is when the socially constructed, and keep this in mind, race is not a biological construction, it is not a scientific construction, but it is a social construction created by human society. So a person's race is the way we define, like you might go around saying, well, I think that I'm Japanese, and people might say, but you look Chinese to me. So your race is going to be the way the collective majority perceive you as being. When they see you, because the way society see you is the way society is going to treat you. Okay? So just from a social scientist perspective, your race is your hardware. It is your outer appearance. It's based on your hair texture, your skin color, your features, whether they're broad or your nose, the shape of your eyes, all of the physical things about you. Now, your ethnicity, I like to call it your software. This is how you perceive yourself. So you can say, well, I know that people think I look black, but I'm actually white, or I'm actually, Greek, or I'm whatever. So you can say I'm Jewish, however you want to define your identity, your racial, your cultural identity from a personal perspective, the way you perceive yourself, that is your ethnicity. So I like to use President Obama as an example. when you look at Obama, if you didn't know that his mom was white, you probably wouldn't know that, because he has a broad, the way his nose is made, his facial structure, his hair texture. So he would be treated like they would treat any other African American. But when you talk to him, you can find out, well, maybe his ethnicity is Caucasian or European, or however he defined himself. That's up to him. So anyway, now just to tie it all together. Now with gender, your gender is pretty much goes along the same. It's your social. It's like to call it your software. It's how you perceive yourself based on the definition of masculine and feminine characteristics of a certain time period in society. So basically, your anatomical, reproductive, your biological, whether you're male or female, in terms of your XY chromosomes. Okay, that is your biological sex, but your gender is whether or not you adopt whatever your society's rules are about how males and females are supposed to act. So if you are a girl and you say, I like to wear ties, I like to wear men's clothes, then people think that your gender identity would probably be more masculine, right? So again, it's the software in terms of how you define yourself, or how you perceive yourself, your gender. But then I think if you even if you dress a certain way, I don't want to get too deep into that, but you understand what I'm saying. Your gender is fluid, is socially constructed. Your biological, whether you're male or female, has to do with your chromosomes, your testosterone, your estrogen, and your physical reproductive organs. These are the biological, scientific factors that make you male or female, which has nothing to do with how you portray your gender. Does that make sense? Oh wait, I'm sorry guys, I don't want to talk to you like this. Well, I hope this makes sense, because when I get into the metaphysical, whether or not the race and gender of a deity matters when performing a magic or ritual, I think you'll see why I took the long nerdy Cassandra route. So now, when we're talking about a deity, now I don't know why I put so much thought into this, but I think there was a video on the internet about a Caucasian woman did a ritual with, I think it was Alegba, who is an African deity, and I think she like disappeared after a certain time period, right? And people said, well, she shouldn't have been doing magic with this particular person. And I was thinking, like, isn't a deity an enlightened being? Like, aren't they just like, and to be a part of deityhood, should you have the same moral and amoral complex ideology of what is of humanity? I mean, like, if you're a deity, like, regardless of your culture and your race, shouldn't you be beyond the day-to-day issues of mere mortals? And I was thought, oh, that can't be true, right? But then I started thinking about it. Does it matter? Does the race and gender of a deity matters when performing a ritual? When you're asking for favors, can you ask anyone for a favor to help you, to assist you, when you don't know anything about how they're worshipped? So let me just, now we've kind of set the stage. Race and gender matters on Earth, right? It matters to humans. So therefore, because who we're going to give opportunities to, how we I mean, we have cultures where people say, I want you to marry inside of your race. I don't want you, it's just a lot. That's a lot going on. It's a lot, right? So I think, okay, now let me get metaphysical Cassandra in here, and we'll see, can we pull it all together? I'll share my theory with you. If you have some thoughts you'd like to add to this conversation, please do. Again, I like to say I'm not trying to be right. I'm just trying to be a part of the equation, a part of the conversation about magic, because I love magic. So before you incarnated onto to planet Earth, right? The way I like to think of things, guys, I'm a doll maker, right? And I love to sew. So I look, I don't have any cotton with me, but the fiber field that I stuff my dolls with, I think of that as your godlike state, right? This is your godlike state. We're all like these light feathery beings, and we have no structure and no form, and pretty much we're light beings. I'm just using my imagination, and we're with our spiritual team, and we are saying, I want to experience being. I want to experience something. So in order to experience something, you need restriction, you need obstacles, there has to be contrast, and there, you know what I mean? Because otherwise you're just going to be a big cotton ball, light or a light being. So, but in order to have a rich, juicy experience, with lessons and joy and pain and all of the things that make us human, you're gonna need some form, right? So you're with your spiritual team, and they say, well, what kind of earth suit, darling, would you like to wear to have this experience? And you say, well, I think I'm gonna be a fisherman or whatever. And I want to live in Greece. And so I think, when I was thinking about this, if you decide that when you decide to select a particular earth suit to have a certain experience, to progress, I don't know how to say this, but guys, if anyone can explain it better, please do. But I feel like in order to have an experience, you have to, the constrictions are so necessary. And not only are the constrictions, the cotton has to be stuffed into an earth suit, right? And the earth suit has to have a story. And that's where, a story, a 3D reality, there has to be all of these rules to create a matrix, or create meaning, to create obstacles, like an obstacle course, right? And for you to really enjoy this experience inside of this earth suit, then you need to commit to it. Because I think when you're in the state of your God self and your cotton, you just excuse me, you feel like you can do anything, because you have your spiritual team and you're feeling like, oh sure, just go ahead, just add slavery, just add a lot of stuff. I want to have a really good time, right? That's what you're thinking when you're everything and nothing at all. You want to experience something. So now I think what happens, we incarnate into a lifetime in an earth suit, and we think, what was I thinking? What was I didn't know it was going to be like this. Because it's kind of like when you go to the movies, right? In order for you to really enjoy that movie, you have to buy into the script. You have to get into it. You have to go, oh my God, like when something is happening in the movie, you can't think, oh, it's just cameras everywhere and this is not real. You have to get into it. So if you imagine getting into your earth suit, right? So you get into your earth suit, you want to have an experience in a particular time period, in a particular location, because there are certain lessons that you want to learn. Just a lot of things you want to experience. So remember, when you want to experience something, there has to be obstacles, there have to be rules, there have to be constriction, because you're coming from everything that is, and in order for you to have an experience, you have to have a lot of constrictions and definitions and form in order for the experience to matter. So you get here and you're like, oh, I think I really, I don't know what I was thinking. Like, this is harder than I thought. Now, see, this is where the deities come in. I believe that the purpose of deities, that humans, and I believe that humans created deities in order to, because humans like to, now there's a term we like to use when we talk about Piaget, how kids give everything human characteristics. Like, oh, my truck is having a good breakfast, my truck is going to bed, or my doll. You know how when kids, oh, we animate everything. We animate everything and we give it human qualities, right? So we do the same thing with our deities. So I think our deities are a collective consciousness of I don't know how to say this. We create a version of ourselves that can answer all of our prayers and help us, right? And I think with a deity, though, I think they also, and not for all, guys, I'm just making this up. Like, I like, not all, okay? I just think sometimes they have the same issues with morality, or they fall in love, they go through stuff, and we've given them these qualities. Like, if you don't give them the perfect offering, then they won't give you the rain, or they'll turn against you and all this kind of stuff, because I think those are human qualities. And so we've collectively given our energy to create these deities to give us what we want. So there's this symbiotic relationship, right? And I think the purpose of the deities, and I think that anything you give energy to becomes alive, but I think the purpose of the deity is to maintain the integrity of the earth suit and the cultural reality. I think that's her job. Yes! The purpose of deities is to maintain the integrity of the earth suit and the cultural, I want to say cultural, three-dimensional reality. So when you try to bail out and you're trying to think, oh my God, what was I thinking? Let me just go back to my spiritual team. Let me just pick it. Let me just go back home. Let me get out of this. They're like, no, I got you, boo. You're a proud whatever. James Brown said, I'm black and I'm proud. Say it out loud. Like, whatever you are, the purpose of this, of whatever earth suit you selected, is to enjoy the integrity of this being. The alligator is to enjoy an alligator. I know I've switched over to animals. But if you're an alligator, don't you want to know what it's like to swim in the swamp and to, you know what I mean? You can be a giraffe next time, right? But there has to be a commitment to the three-dimensional reality and solving the obstacles and the problems that is a part of wearing that particular earth suit. And that earth suit contains life experiences and lessons that will help you evolve and grow as a spiritual being. So the earth suit is very important. So if you chose to be a Japanese or African American or Chinese or Russian or whatever, guys, the purpose of you selecting that particular earth suit and that software, it was because you wanted to experience what it had to offer, and otherwise you would just feel like, if everything is the same, the best way, what? You know how the world is changing, and like when you travel to different locations, sometimes you feel like you could be anywhere USA. or anywhere in the world because there's like a McDonald's, or there's like, you know how they have like those little shopping areas, and you would see like maybe there's a dollar store, there's a nail shop, there's a pizza, store, and it's like you see the same store combination like in different cities in different states, and you start thinking like, and now you're just looking for something authentic. You're looking for a restaurant that is not a part of like a McDonald's or a Burger King. You want to experience something authentic, and you know what I'm saying? Because once everything becomes the same, it loses the richness of the experience, right? So the deities are here to uphold like cultural rules, cultural heritage, rituals. And so I think that when you are performing a particular ritual for whatever, I think the race and gender of the deity matters. And if you read the descriptions, there are certain deities that say they work best with men, or they work best with women and children, or they work, with this particular type of person. And so, and I think it's because the earth suit with how do I say this? The earth suit is a part of the spiritual experience of the being of you, and they help you navigate the three-dimensional obstacle course, because they know the terrain, if that makes sense. They know the tricks. They know how to get you through this. They know how to get you to the next level, because remember, we're not ready for you to check out of the game too soon. We don't want you to go back to your spiritual team too soon. So the deities that humans have created to help them through this obstacle course, to help them enjoy it, are here to assist. Now the reason it matters is because if you, like I said, when you want to maintain the integrity of a particular culture, of a particular time period, of a particular belief system, then they, like I know that with different deities, they want different offerings. They have different customs and different rules on how to honor them so that they will assist you. So I think it matters, guys. I do. I think it matters. But guess what? I thought this through. I think it matters because, again, they maintain the integrity of the earth suit of this whatever lifetime you chose, and the integrity of the cultural three-dimensional reality. Now I just thought of this on the spot, and I would love to hear your thoughts about this. Now, I believe that when you are dealing with day-to-day stuff, this is where the deities are really important, of whatever culture or ethnic group or religion that you are a part of. I think that is important, and I think they come to assist those who are exchanging energy with them. If you are giving me an offering, if you are praying to me, you are giving me life, and therefore I'm going to add to your life while you are in this particular earth suit, right? So if you choose a deity who you know nothing about, I think it depends, because you may have some homies from another lifetime. Because I'm telling you, Fortuna, I'm not sure if you pronounce her name, Fortuna, goddess of supply. That goddess has always been good to me. Like, I remember a long time ago, even when I I didn't start practicing magic until later. I started out with feng shui, and Fortuna was one of the first goddesses that I had encountered, and it just seems like something that always came through. And I just remembered that. So I think it may matter. No, I think it does matter. I'm not going to say may. Does it matter all the time? I'm not sure. but I don't know. So if you ask a deity of a different race or gender who you know nothing about to do you a favor, depending, I don't know. I don't know, right? But I'm going to take a shot and say 70% of the time, I'm going to shoot at 70% of the time. If you know nothing about that culture or that ethnic group, I think that cannot be a good thing for you. I don't think it's wise, because you are in a particular earth suit for a particular reason and time period to learn lessons of that nature, of this particular, to navigate the three-dimensional issues of whatever this earth suit is supposed to encounter and learn in a particular lifetime. Now this is my theory. I believe that if you are, let's just say, okay, y'all know I love Harriet Tubman. That's my baby. So let's say you're Harriet Tubman and you're just like, look, I'm just literally just trying to figure out how to get a good job, working in the house. I'm tired of the fields. It's hot. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to escape. I'm just literally just trying to get a good job in the house. I heard I can get a hookup. I think that she could go to a deity, whichever deity of that she worked with, whatever. This is just me this is what I believe. I thought this through, and I'm joking. I did think it through, but I'm just kidding. I want to, So she's just looking for a good job. She's trying to get less beatings. I think that working with her local deities is going to be good. Maybe they might know somebody who can hook her up, or in her sleep they may give her this bomb recipe that she can make for the master one day, and he's like, hey, there's an opening, and she's like, sure, I'll take it. I think that the deities who know how to navigate, staying out of trouble, maybe, living for the next day, making sure, maybe you want to make sure your kids aren't sold, that kind of thing. But I think that when you decide to elevate in a particular lifetime, and your issues are no longer just a part of the people who look like you, think like you, dress like you, act like you, I think then you are given deities, or not deities, but I know everyone doesn't believe in angels, but I think this is where the archangels come into play, because I think they are timeless, raceless, genderless beings who are helping your soul to evolve to the next level, beyond race and gender. So when Harriet Tubman decided, I don't want a job, in the house, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to avoid beatings. I'm out of here. I'm not doing this. I'm this whole, earth suit like this, I'm out. Nobody's gonna treat me like this, because I deserve better. Now, the minute she made that, she took on that role, I believe that now you have spiritual beings such as angels and archangels and ascended masters who come to assist you, because what you are doing is going to help everybody. It's going to change the world. It's going to change history. It's going to change, you're going to become a shining star for people. When I say shining star, I look at Harriet Tubman as a shining star, because she thinks, maybe she thinks she only saved the people on the Underground Railroad, but she saved me too, and I was born way after her. When I read her biography, and when I was, moments when I wanted to give up, but I didn't, because I would think about her, and I'm thinking like, oh gosh, she didn't have it nearly as hard. Surely I can deal with this professor, right? So to me, when you live a life of being your highest and best self and giving it everything you got, you live beyond the limitations of your earth suit, of your culture, of your ethnicity. I don't know, does that make sense? And I think then you work with beings such as archangels who really, they are not tied to a time period or location. They don't maintain the integrity of the 3D experience and the earth suit. They maintain the integrity of your God self. You're the highest version of you. And I've come to this conclusion, guys. Now, you guys know I love The 72 Angels of Magick by Damon Brand. That is my book. I mean, because I've worked with it. Like, you know, I like Words of Power too. That's from my light work. Yeah! But, you know, I feel like I've come to the conclusion, angels, like when you talk to angels about, oh my God, I just want some money, or I don't think angels work like that. I don't think they get into like, well, how much you need? Yeah! I think they work with, did you practice that guitar? Because you told me you wanted to be Prince, you know. You told me you wanted to be an artist. You wanted to paint. You wanted to grow. You wanted to evolve. You had this dream inside of you. I think, and the reason I've come to this conclusion just recently is because when I am sewing, I feel like a trillionaire. When I'm making a doll, I don't know what she's gonna look like. I don't know what a personality is gonna be like, you know. And I'm just like making her. And if somebody came to me and said, "Look, Cassandra, I would give you $1 billion right now on the spot if you never sew another doll," and I would say no. Oh God, are you crazy? Like, what would I do? I have realized that, you know, wealth and money and spirituality is sometimes realizing what you have. It's more about what you're giving and what you're enjoying as opposed to what you're receiving, right? I think another thing about working with deities is, and I think this is tricky, and I was thinking about it as I was making the video. So let's just say you're working, that's maybe that's with ancestors, but I don't know, but I'm thinking that over, like, maybe at some point in the history, wealth was considered, you know, maybe the agriculture or sheep or cows, but you're asking for wealth now. You're like, look, no, I'm talking about money, and they're just like, you have more than I ever had. What do you ask, dude? You have electricity. Yeah, you have all these things, and now you're asking me for what? You know what I mean? So I think it's really tricky. Yeah, I think it's really tricky when we're asking for favors or asking for assistance, but of deities to help us navigate the obstacle of the experience that we're trying to have. But anyway, guys, if you have anything to add to this conversation, please make a comment in the comment box below. I don't really know if I offered anything of value other than the fact that I think that I think the race and gender of the deity does matter, because they are going to help you stay in the game longer and help you win, because you wanted to have a rich experience in that particular earth suit. And I personally believe that when you start working on issues that extend beyond your own particular race and is no longer personal to you, then you move to a team, a spiritual team. Even if you don't believe in archangels, you move to a spiritual team that is genderless and raceless, because what you are contributing will change the trajectory of human evolution. I really hope this video helps someone. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you darlings in the next video.